Hello there, this is Steph, coming to you again about the laws of living. This is the third part. I've been reading Herman's Magical Universe, and it was written by Becky McCarley and illustrated by Phil Travers. And we've already talked about the first four laws in the other two videos. Now we're going to start on the fifth law. And describes laws that are presented to a young boy who's 7 years old. And he is very anxious to know what the laws of life are. So a wonderful librarian found this book for him that explains it. And I'm going to get right to it. The fifth law is the law of rhythm. Rhythm shows us that there is flow going on all the time, all around us and within us. There is high tide and low tide, day and night, being awake and being asleep. When we swing on a swing, we go backward, then forward. That's the law of rhythm. When we dance, we move to and fro, side to side, up and down. That's the law of rhythm. Not too long ago, scientists had an idea about how our universe began. They called this idea the Big Bang Theory. They thought that way, way far, far back in time, there was a big explosion and all the stars and the planets and the suns and the galaxies shot out in all directions from this big explosion. That's how it all started. But we could have told them, couldn't we, if they'd only asked, that this idea couldn't be right. We could have told them what Einstein knew, that there can't be a beginning because, remember, quote, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It simply changes form, quote, from Einstein. So there was no beginning, there can be no ending, just a change of form. So it would be more like a circle, like God breathing in and breathing out. And even if you don't believe in a God or anything, right now, as we said earlier in the book, this really isn't about God at the moment. It's about the laws of the universe, the laws of life. Okay. And sure enough, another scientist named Ben Bento came up with another idea that explains this perfectly. He showed that it is like a circle. All the things we can see in the universe come down into the level where we can see them, the physical world, and then go back home where they came from, the spiritual world. But each time they go back home, they are a little bit smarter, wiser, more complete. So the circle we then see is really a spiral. Now there's a picture of this, and I'm going to show it in a minute. So form comes into being, spirit into matter, then form goes back, matter into spirit. This creates time, T-I-M-E, time. This is the hourglass, something that measures time. If you play with an hourglass, turning it over and letting the sand drain through, you're actually playing with this idea of spirit into matter and matter into spirit, or time. Things are always flowing according to the law of rhythm. Can you find the door in this law? Now, here's some pictures. Okay, let's go over this way. See the flow? And that's a black hole going into a white hole. End of time, beginning of time. End of time, beginning of time. The red part is the end of time, and it generates, yes, it does have a big bang, so to speak, and it creates a white hole, which is the beginning of time. Okay, next page. How about that? People playing in the moment, playing games, baseball. The sixth law is the law of cause and effect. This law tells us that there is no such thing as chance. Everything happens according to law. This is an orderly universe. If you hit a baseball, well, for every action, there is a reaction. If you hit a baseball, that is an action. When it goes flying across the field, that is a reaction. For every action, there is a reaction. For every cause, there is an effect. If we plant a turnip seed, a turnip will grow from it, not an eggplant. When we see the turnip, we know that there was first a turnip seed. This is a cause and effect backward and forward. If we plant seeds of love, love grows from it, not hate. When we see flowers of love, we know there were first seeds of love. In the same way, when there is negativity in our life, like anger, disorder, or confusion, we can be sure that somewhere, sometime, we planted seeds of negativity. We get back exactly what we have planted. No more, no less. This may seem difficult to accept, especially if there is negativity around us that appears to have nothing to do with us. But our soul chooses situations where we can grow. That's a very important statement. I'm going to repeat it. Our soul chooses situations where we can grow. Our soul chooses. It's a hard concept for people to grasp hold of. So in the end, what looked very ugly has served a very beautiful purpose. Sometimes those situations appear very ugly, but to the soul, learning is the most important thing. We have learned something valuable. I bet you can think of lots of examples of this law. Nothing is accidental. Nothing. All happens according to the law of cause and effect. This law is the same thing as the law of karma in the Hindu religion. In the Christian tradition, it's what Jesus meant when he said, "As ye sow, shall ye also reap." I'm not going to get into the discussion of religions right now, but it is interesting. Okay. Another very interesting set of pictures here. Okay, the seventh law is the law of gender. Okay? The law of gender is a law of creation. Whenever you have made something, you have used the law of gender. This is how it works. All things have both polarities in them. Remember the fourth law? Ideas are feminine. Doing is masculine. The feminine is like a circle. The masculine is like a straight line. Guess what you get if you unite a circle and a straight line? You get the spiral we spoke of earlier. It's right here. The spiral is a symbol for life. It's the same on every level of creation. There must be something feminine and something masculine put together to create something new. This is easiest to see when a woman and a man create from themselves a new baby. A battery also must have a negative and a positive pole to generate electricity. It's the same principle. Did you know that protons have a positive charge and electrons have a negative charge? These are the basic building blocks of all creation. The tiny particles we learned about is in the first law. This is gender. The law of gender is the law of creation. Can you explain the law of gender to someone older than you? I like the picture here. I don't know if you can see it. It's a cat and a battery. Pretty interesting. I could go on. I have a few more minutes, but actually, if I did, it's extremely interesting, the rest of the book. It gets into the laws much more deeply. And I really hope that someone gains something from this. I really do. I hope and I pray for it. And I pray for all of you too. Everybody is in my heart and my soul. I love my daughter and my children and my son who died. I know that he's in a new form now. He has transitioned, as my spiritual advisor used to teach me. Anyway, this is a short one today, but thank you. Thank you so much. And this is Steph saying goodbye. Have a great day.